I hate F sharp, not the note itself, but the key of F sharp. Ever since I was a young boy, if I got any score to play in that key, or if I had to improvise or play by ear and got to that key, I would start to panic. There's just something about the positioning of the notes when you're in that key where it just doesn't seem natural to me. I don't know what it is, but it makes me nervous, and the mindset I get is that I'm going to make a mistake, which is not a good mindset to have. But something happened quite a few years ago that forced me to change my perspective about the key of F sharp. It was about 25 years ago when we were working on our original musical Esther. My co-writer Daniel and I were working on one of the pieces, which was a lullaby. And I had come up with a tune for it. And Daniel started writing the lyrics. Because of the melody, the notes, that the positioning of the notes, I decided I would start with F minor, because that was a good range for the singer's voices. First verse was fine, and then I felt like we can't just continue the second verse directly. We needed some kind of an interlude. And so I was playing around for the interlude. And oh, that was very nice. So that would be the start of the second verse, and we modulate nicely. Only after I played through that did I realize that I had modulated to the one key that I hate, F sharp minor in this case. I tried to persuade myself to come up with something else, maybe modulate another key, try something else, another interlude, but I really liked that interlude. And then I reasoned with myself and said, well, we have a few months until we perform the musical, so I should be okay to play one verse in F sharp. It shouldn't be so bad. So we stuck with it. We were rehearsing and I was sort of forgetting about it. But then when we came to the time of the actual performances, every evening, I was really enjoying it, playing the piano. We had the orchestra, beautiful setting, musical going really well. And then we would get to the lullaby. And the first verse, beautiful, I was very happy with it. And then we would get to the interlude. And I started to get tense because we were about to enter the danger zone of F sharp. And I remember distinctly every evening at that point asking myself this question: who is the idiot who decided to modulate to F sharp? If you ask me now, have I made my peace with F sharp? Peace is a strong word to use. Let's just say we have a memorandum of understanding, to use a lingo of these days, that we will not attack each other so much. Now, let me play the lullaby for you, and I'm going to be bold enough and conquer my fears and play from the modulation to the second verse and the end. I hope you enjoy it, but stick around, because at the end, I want to tell you something quite important about the lesson I've learned from hating F sharp. Made it. The lesson from my love-hate relationship with F sharp is this: if we always stay in our comfort zone areas, we'll probably end up doing the same things the same way over and over. But if we're a bit brave enough to venture into areas musically and everything else we're doing, creative work in our lives, where we're less comfortable, where we get a bit tense maybe, we may, And you may find things that you never thought you could come up with. Just because when you're in that situation, you can't go back to what you're used to. You have to come up with new solutions. And that, for me, is the foundation of creating something new, something beautiful. So, whatever your F sharp is in your life, give it another chance, work with it, and create something beautiful today.